We've got massive developer layoffs, a whirlwind of controversy surrounding Escape from Tarkov, and one of the biggest games of the year quickly crumbling to pieces. All this and more on this week's episode of Weekend Repeat. First reported by GameDeveloper.com, Take-Two Interactive filed a worker adjustment and retraining notification in the state of Washington on April 29th, revealing that they were laying off around 70 employees. Even after stating on March 20th that there would be no layoffs coming to any of their studios. No explicit details were given out by Take-Two in regards to the layoffs, but the circumstances pointed to Seattle-based Intercept Games being the main target of the layoffs, with Bloomberg's Jason Schreier later confirming that the studio as well as Roll7, developers of Rollerdrome and Ollie Ollie, would both be shuttered in these layoffs. Intercept Games' closure comes as a massive disappointment to a lot of people as they were the developers behind Kerbal Space Program 2. KSP2's early access launch and subsequent development has been less than stellar, though it still generated a sizable base of players wishing to see the game reach the interstellar heights of the original. However, with Take-Two forcibly shutting the doors on Intercept Games, it seems the spacefaring sequel is pretty much dead in the water. Many players have taken to Steam to voice their displeasure with Take-Two's actions as well as the overall state of KSP2, bombarding the game's store page with negative reviews stating that, with the studio now closed, there is likely going to be no new development updates for this game. In response to this, Take-Two stated that the publisher of KSP2, Private Division, would be handling development and releasing new content in the future. But seeing as Take-Two has blatantly lied in the past, we'll just have to wait and see if their words can be believed. Battlestate Games, developers of the hit extraction shooter Escape from Tarkov, have come under fire recently due to the release of their latest version of Escape from Tarkov, known as the Unheard Edition. This edition comes with a number of exclusive perks, items, and weapons, but the most substantial inclusion is the addition of a cooperative PvE mode, which is something Tarkov players have been wanting for a number of years. However, to get access to this new PvE mode, you will have to purchase the Unheard Edition, which will set you back around $250 USD, which I think is pretty ridiculous, especially for a game that's been in early access for around 8 years now, but it's even worse when you see how it affects the veteran players of Escape from Tarkov. Early adopters of Escape from Tarkov could purchase a number of different editions of the game, each with their own perks and bonuses. One of these, called the Edge of Darkness or EOD edition, stated it would come with all future DLC released for Tarkov, but that doesn't include this newly released PvE mode, which developers stated they did not consider to be DLC. As expected, existing players were frustrated that they had to drop another $250 on a game they already own to get access to this new mode, which, in my opinion, should have just been released for free, but EOD edition owners were exceptionally disappointed, seeing as they had been cheated out of and lied to by Battlestate by not having access to this new mode. Thankfully, Battlestate Games' COO Nikita Buyanov apologized for the situation and stated that the new PvE mode would be made available to all owners of the EOD edition. In a Reddit post regarding the situation, he wrote, "First of all, I would like to say that I am very sorry that fans and the game community in general are experiencing these feelings. Unfortunately, I somehow did not foresee the fact of such a reaction, and now I have drawn conclusions for my future decisions." One of the biggest game releases of 2024 has unfortunately become one of the biggest gaming fumbles in probably all video game history. On May 2nd, Sony Interactive Entertainment released a statement on the Helldivers 2 Steam page announcing that players would soon be required to link their Steam accounts with a PlayStation Network account or be locked out of the game permanently. As expected, gamers did not take this news too well. Response was immediately negative, with droves of players voicing their displeasure in Steam reviews, dropping the game down to mostly negative from very positive within just a couple days. Arrowhead Game Studios, the developers of Helldivers 2, seems equally disappointed in the announcement of this new requirement, with their community manager Spitz stating in a Discord post that the response from our dev team has been pretty universally negative and we're looking for better options. People are largely upset because even though technically the game did state that when it first launched a PSN account was required due to some server issues, they pushed this requirement to the side so people could join more easily. And now that this requirement is suddenly being reintroduced, a lot of these people who just outright don't purchase games that require outside accounts like this feel like that they're being cheated in a way because of this. Personally, this PSN requirement just doesn't bother me at all. 9 out of 10 games today, especially live service ones, come with some kind of outside account login requirement. And hearing all of these people complain, oh, I got to deal with another account. I'm honestly just like, cope, boo-hoo, who really cares? It's another login. But this whole situation becomes even more scummy when you realize that PSN accounts are not available in a large number of countries. Countries where Helldivers 2 was actually sold. So that means when these accounts become mandatory, all of those players in those countries that don't have PSN access are completely locked out of the game they paid for. And not to mention, users of PlayStation and Sony's online services have become victims of quite a number of online cyber attacks over the past few years, showing that Sony's excuse that this is for security purposes is just an outright lie. And lastly, coming out of the rumor mill this week, the next Fallout game might be coming out sooner than you expected. With Starfield still in development and Elder Scrolls 6 still faintly on the horizon, many people, myself included, didn't expect the new Fallout game for a very, very long time. But on a recent episode of the Xbox 2 podcast, Jez Corden stated that Microsoft is very aware of Fallout's popularity, especially after the success of the Amazon Prime television show. According to his statements, they want to expedite the development of the next Fallout game, possibly even taking development away from Bethesda Game Studios and giving it to another company to help speed up its release. Personally, I don't think it's too far out of the question to see a new Fallout game be released in the next few years, but I don't think it'll be anything like a main series installment or even a spin-off for that matter. It'll probably be something more along the lines of a remaster or remake like the Fallout 3 one that has been speculated for years, or maybe even something like a remake of Fallout 1 and 2. And the fact that it could possibly be taken away from Bethesda just fills the insides of my heart with warmth, because if the next Fallout game would be anything like Starfield, I really don't know if I would want to play it in the first place. But regardless, I'm just happy to see Fallout getting a renaissance, and as you can tell, I'm a pretty big Fallout fan, so it's just nice to see the series getting the recognition that it deserves. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below, and be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.